I am joined here by a man who needs very little introduction, but just in case, on January 7th, live on Showtime pay-per-view, he faces in the main event Hector Luis Garcia. For all the marbles, it is the one and only Baltimore's pride, by the way, Tank Davis. Hi, Tank. How are you?
I'm great. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Tank, as a DC guy, I got to say, they were saying welcome home. Do you feel at home in DC?
Yeah, I feel much home in DC.
Why? There's a little bit of like a DC-Baltimore rivalry, right? A little bit.
Not. I don't think not with me. I've been coming to DC since I was 8. You know what I mean? So I always treated DC like family.
Yeah. And you fought in Baltimore previously.
Yeah.
You expecting a similar kind of reaction when January 7th rolls around?
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
God willing.
All right, well, you're a busy guy. You got a lot of stuff going on. Let's start with the business at hand. Hector Luis Garcia. Some folks are asking if there's another fight in April, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but right now, this one, why take this one at all? What's the point of it?
Just, I'm trying to, I guess, trying to stay locked in, I guess. You know what I mean? Not trying to stay out the ring for so much long.
So in other words, April's too far away.
Yeah, April's definitely too far away.
Yeah. How long are your camps typically? How long is it? 8 weeks or 12?
Sometimes it be 12, sometimes it be 10. You know what I mean? It depends.
All right. And how did this name come up? Hector Luis Garcia.
We heard that he was coming up in weight. You know what I mean? He actually beat somebody that was talking a lot of trash. That was, you know what I mean? He was saying that he could beat me. You know what I mean? So why not take the guy that beat him?
You're talking about Chris Colbert, right?
Of course.
He's got a lot of opinions, doesn't he? Yeah,
yes.
He does. And he lost that. I'm sure you saw that fight, right?
I didn't see it, but I seen clips of it on Twitter.
What did you make of what you saw?
Never overlook your opponent. You know what I mean? That's what happened when you I don't want to say it, but got your head up your ass.
You thought Colbert was very confused about who he was or something?
I think there's him overlooking the guy, period. He was saying he was going to knock the guy out in 2 rounds, 1 round. Like, I feel as though that's disrespectful to the next fighter.
What's interesting about this fight is you talk to like boxing hardcore fans, right? And they're like, dude, this is not a tune-up fight.
Yeah.
Like you don't see it like a tune-up fight, right?
No, most definitely not. But I feel as though it's just like it's a trend that people do. I mean, like that's going around it. I don't fight nobody, so if anything come out that I'm fighting somebody else, then the people want me to fight, they say it's trash. But real boxing fans know that this guy's, you know what I mean, he's a legit opponent.
Also, he is very different from Rolly Romero.
Right?
Those were very different. That was a very different press conference today, was it not?
Yes.
Is that in some ways like Rolly brought a little something out of you? I don't know. Like, are you glad to not have to deal with that kind of madness that he brought?
No. I feel as though like it come with boxing. You know what I mean? So he just an opponent that don't, you know what I mean, that don't talk like that. So I'm not a guy that's gonna try to make him talk. You know what I mean? So I guess, well, Ryan like that, so.
We'll get to him in a minute. He has a lot of opinions too, which is okay. To your point, that is boxing.
Yeah.
So when you go about like picking an opponent, like this is a good fight, we want this guy or that guy, obviously it's your decision, it's your career. Do you talk to Calvin? Like, how does that process happen? They give you a list of names and you pick? Like, walk me through how an actual name gets selected.
It's just me and my team, you know what I mean? I feel as though I still got one of the best team in boxing as far as like Steve Espinosa, Al, my personal team. And I feel as though we come up with the best game plan. We map it out, you know what I mean? Of course I got the last say so, but I feel as though that um, uh, I believe in my team. You know what I mean? So whatever decision we come up with, I feel as though that's the best decision, and that's how we roll out the opponent. We all have our own opinion.
What's interesting about this fight is, on the heels of everything you've been doing, you know, knocking out Romero, knocking out Santa Cruz, I mean, just the list goes on from there. It's almost like, well, if it's Tank's fighting, then there just better be a knockout, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that pressure a little bit now? I see you smiling a little bit, huh?
Not right now, but a little bit, like, in between fights. I mean, like, in between rounds in the fight. That's when I feel like a little pressure.
Really? Like when you're back in the corner?
Yeah, just a little, like, you ain't get him out of there yet? Like, stuff like that. Like, that's what I be thinking. Because sometimes I get bored.
Did you get bored in the Romero fight?
No. Because I had to be, like, focused because of how strong he was. So any little slip, I could have been asleep. So I definitely wasn't bored.
But you were taking your time in that one, right?
Yeah, I was definitely taking my time.
But like the fight you had in Baltimore, I think his name was Nunez, right? Mm-hmm. That one, you were just trying to end that one.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Fast as possible, right?
Yeah.
Same with Santa Cruz, too?
No, but he was cocky. Everybody didn't know he was, like, even when we was in the clinch, he was looking like. And then that's when I caught him, because he was cocky. He was saying he was going to knock me out and everything.
When the fight is over on January 7th, right? And let's say it goes your way, like, obviously it's about staying busy and it's about fighting good fighters, but like, what does a win over him, what would it mean actually? Like, what does it mean to you to beat this guy on that day? Does it have any other significance other than it's just another name, it's just another check mark?
No, I feel as though everything is like a process, you know what I mean? I can't go get on like step 3 if I don't go through 2. You know what I mean? So I feel as though every step it's a process and everything play as, you know what I mean, to where I want to go. You know what I mean? I feel as though this is a legit opponent. He's 16-0. You know what I mean? He don't have no laws, just meaning he don't have no flaws. You know what I mean? So I feel as though he's a tough opponent and we trying to get over the hump. That's it.
All right, let's talk a little about social media, can we?
Yes.
You are the king. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there's somebody else. I don't know. But as far as I know, Gervonta Davis is the king of tweet, let it sit for a bit, and then fire that delete button. What is that? What is that?
I'm glad we talked about this because people don't. I feel as though, like, after I say what I said, like, it's over with. And I ain't got time to go on my Twitter, like, keep going on my Twitter and keep saying something about that, like that comment. You know what I mean? So I just delete it.
So how, like, do you have a plan? Like, I'm gonna leave this up for like 30 minutes or whatever, and then take it down.
No, but if somebody right under there, like, I can't wait to. I mean, he's gonna take it down. I'll leave it up there just to be a smart ass.
Just to stick it to him.
Yeah, and
right?
then I take it down.
Is it only Twitter you do this on, or do you do this on Instagram too?
No, I do it only on Twitter. and I be saying crazy stuff too, and I be trying to, like, I want to stay. I don't want to be out here like on Twitter just cursing and people look up to me and things like that. You know? Well, and I'm trying to get like sponsors and things like that too. So
yeah, the delete button is helpful for sponsors. Yeah. That is true. All right, let's talk a little bit about Ryan Garcia. Now, before we talk about the opponent himself and then April 15th, which is the proposed date for all of this, like the deal itself. On your end of things, it took 2 people to make this deal. Actually, everyone's teams, but it took Ryan Garcia and it took you. Like, on some level, do you have respect for the idea he wanted the smoke? Like, yeah. Like, there is something to be said for that in this modern age of boxing, right?
Yeah, he definitely, and I ain't gonna lie, he definitely, somebody, I don't know, I don't know what's going on over that side, but he definitely wanted the smoke.
Anything commendable about that? I mean, on the one hand, obviously he's going to be an opponent, but like, we just came off a weekend where Tyson Fury fought Derek Chisora for the 3rd time. Like, no one's looking for that. People are looking for this, and he didn't seem to shy away from it at all.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel as though, I think it's good for the sport. I think it's definitely good for the sport because both of us young, both of us in our prime. You know what I mean? He's hungry for sure. I'm hungry. I think it's. I mean, ain't no other young fighters fighting each other right now. I feel as though this is the start.
You guys are trying to like set the example, something like that?
I mean, not set the example, but I think this is the start of 135 fighters, top fighters fighting each other.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You feel me? So
right.
I feel as though this is like a spark to it.
Okay.
Like, deals can be done.
All right. In your mind, what is Ryan Garcia's best win?
In my mind?
Yeah. When you think about his resume, what's the win that's his best that you think?
Luke Campbell.
Why?
Because Luke Campbell is a solid opponent, and also how Ryan got dropped in the fight, and then also came back and wound up stopping him. First though, because some people, I think that's probably his first time getting dropped in a fight.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, some people get dropped and don't recover, and he's young. He's young. He did that. You feel me? I think you gotta give him props for that.
What do you make of him switching trainers, right? Leaving the Canelo team and then going over to Goosen. Oh, I got a smile out of that one. All right. What do you make of that?
I think that's he had a better chance winning with them.
Is that right? He seems to think that, like, I don't know, like the Goosen style is a little bit more like in line with what he wants to do in a boxing match. You know what I mean?
He started with Goosen, did he?
I think initially, yes, and then was obviously with Eddie, and then went back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Did you see any noticeable change in the Fortuna fight, for example, the last one he had? Okay, tell me what you saw.
I can't.
Oh, you can give me a little bit, Tank.
I can't, because then he probably see this and work on it. I don't want to.
But you did see something. You saw a noticeable shift from what he was doing before to this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Major.
Aside from hand speed, right? He does have good hand speed. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, what is he good at? What are you up against on April 15th?
He has speed. He has power. That's it.
That's about it. What do you have that you're confident he has no answer for?
The whole package. my disadvantage probably I take it back. I don't got no disadvantage.
Not against him?
I would say size, but probably reach. Reach and size, probably.
That's the thing you're most up against. In terms of what this fight could mean for boxing, have you thought about like how big this could be? Like in your mind, it's big, but what does that translate to? What is that? How big? Give me a sense of things. You think it can do?
I don't think the boxing world know yet, like how big it really is.
Do you think this can do 1 million pay-per-view buys?
Probably more.
Really?
Probably more. I'm pretty sure probably more.
So you're looking to like set some records here, huh?
It's gonna be set that night.
We don't have a whole lot of time, so let me move on to something else. I would love to talk about Ryan all day. Some of your 135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Mm-hmm. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now at 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right. So why people even talk like he the best at? He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126. I mean 126, 30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you? All that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you going to get hit. What you going to do when you get hit?
How far do you think your power translates? I mean, you're fighting at 135, right? But like, how high up could it be effective? You ever thought about that? What weight class you could go up to? Not saying like you would take a fight. I'm not saying that, but like, in terms of your ability to thump, how far can it go?
What size of gloves?
Let's say 10.
10? Strong cruiserweight.
Wow. For real? Jesus.
Because it's not only power, it's accuracy. That's what people think.
Yeah. So you get a reputation for being a power puncher, which is fair. You do have power. But what do people in your mind miss only paying attention to the power? The accuracy, and what else?
Yeah, the accuracy. That's the placement. Like even with Ryan, even with Rolly, it wasn't just no power shot. It's how I throw it and what spot I hit him in. And
then he was walking into it as well, right?
The timing, like even the movement I did, like just every little thing. It wasn't just I just threw a swinging shot.
All right, so let me connect the dots here between Ryan Garcia, Haney, and Stevenson. The fact that this fight is being made, and DAZN will carry basically the Showtime produced event, does this give you hope that making, I'm not naming those guys in particular, but like fights across the promotional aisle, fights across the promotion, or the television aisle, that because you're making this Garcia fight, those will in turn be easier to make down the line? Or is this just like a one, like because you made this, it doesn't necessarily mean the other ones will be easier to make?
Like I said, I think it's opening up doors. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really trying to be in this too much longer. So that's the answer right there for you.
How old are you now? 28?
28.
Yeah. How much longer are you expecting to do it?
Once I get them guys out of there, I'm gone.
Is that right? So let's say like 30-ish, something like that? Why do you want to get out so soon? Just make the money and just go?
It's about, I want to just help people that's coming behind me. I feel as though that's more important. Future.
Is that why you got Lamont Peterson and Anthony on this card?
They was before me, but yeah, they're trying to do my good deeds.
Why is that important?
I feel as though it's something that is installed in me. There's loyalty. I feel as though that's something that people are missing out here. I feel as though if you're in a position to help somebody, help them.
Yeah.
For the right reason.
Well, I know you're short on time, so we'll have to wrap here. January 7th, Showtime pay-per-view, live main event. I will say, though, can we just agree, Baltimore's a pretty great town. I like Fells Point. Old Bay's overrated. It's overrated. Right? It's a little overrated, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but y'all put it on everything.
Old Bay is definitely fire, though.
All right, it's okay. It's Gervonta and Tank Davis, live Showtime pay-per-view. Hector Luis Garcia, Washington, D.C. Come check it out.